Hi, welcome to my channel. I am Thomasin PA2066. Today is 25th of February 2023. I like to continue doing a series of video on frequently asked questions. This is episode 5 on the case of cancel sales and purchase agreement. Let me begin. Hi, video taking 144. Frequently asked question in real estate, episode number 5. Cancel sales and purchase agreement. I'm Thomasin PA2066. Today is 25th of February 2023. So this is also a common question asked about situation where maybe you have signed your sales and purchase agreement. However, after that you regretted or you probably have a reason not to carry on. So what would happen to you in this scenario? Let me begin. So there is an earlier video that I have done on this. What is in a SPA, sales and purchase agreement, key elements. That was January 2023, just recently. Please refer back to this video. And also for the video I extracted extract from the earlier presentation, how if a failure to get financing or even after memorandum of transfer and charges, if let's say in the sales and purchase agreement you have signed everything, but then eventually the loan cannot get through. Some this happen actually in the sense that initially the bank offers the loan and then you proceed to sign the sales and purchase agreement, but later on the bank came out with certain situation that they need further information. And then when they need further information, then you cannot satisfy this information and therefore you cannot proceed. The bank will not release the loan. So this happened to some cases, especially on high risk type of businesses. If you are a business owner and then you have other businesses and eventually the bank found out something on high risk, so the bank doesn't want to take the risk. So this part actually happened to commonly happen to some of the cases where purchase of more than $1 million. So you have to call off in the sense that you have to stop the SPA, the sales and purchase agreement. So do you actually have a way out? Have you to pay the balance no matter what, and a point of no return, or else they will proceed to forfeit everything. So there is a clause 12. Also in most of the sales and purchase agreement, there is this exit clause, we call it. This exit provide exit to the parties that come to the agreement. So vendor can carry on selling to the next person, and then the purchaser minimizes the losses and then go back to doing other things, not to be tied down by the sales and purchase agreement which has no exit. So this exit clause 12 is important. Let me just read you the clause 12. So what is in clause 12? Forfeit the deposit as the liquidated damage. Purchaser shall withdraw private caveat, if any, lodged on this particular purchase. Vendor to refund all monies paid by the purchaser, minus the case of all the forfeited. So there are extra that is already been released, that is been given back. So in the time of signing the sales and purchase agreement, the 10% is forfeited. Agreement shall be thereafter become null and void, so that the both party can move forward. Vendor retain the right to seek for specific performance. If vendor says that he still want to sell, then he will have to go to court and make sure the specific performance to get the money back from the purchaser. So extract from the presentation earlier on. Another one is to read here. Also, in the event that the purchaser fails or neglect to pay the balance sum in the accordance with the provision herein, the vendor may take action to require the purchaser to complete or without in any way affecting any right which the vendor may have to terminate the sales herein, whereupon the vendor shall be entitled to forfeit the deposit as a liquidated damage. The vendor shall thereafter forthwith refund all other monies paid by the purchaser and or the end financer, free of interest and income other. Upon such refund, this agreement shall thereafter become null and void. So for example, if the deposit paid booking was maybe 3%, and then later on the 7% to build up to 10%, which is the earners deposit, the down payment. And this down payment having paid, they sign the sales and purchase agreement. Then the within the next 2 weeks, then the purchaser actually paid another 10%, build up to 20%. Then the remaining loan is 80%. So this 80% loan could not come by because he has other risks that the bank doesn't want to release the loan. So now the forfeiture is the 10%, which consists of 3% booking and the 7% during the signing of the sales and purchase agreement. And the next 10% will be refunded back to the purchaser, because the loan was not able to materialize. So the other version of the Clause 12 is hereby I read in Sarawak, in the event that the purchaser shall be in breach of any of the provision herein contained and or fail, refuse, be unwilling or unable to complete the purchase of the said property in accordance with the terms and conditions herein contained and or fail to comply with Clause 2 thereof, hereof without any fault on the part of the vendor shall be entitled to forfeit all payment made by the purchaser under his agreement as agreed liquidated damage, and the purchaser shall forthwith withdraw his private caveat lodged here under at his own expense. Upon such forfeiture being effected, this agreement shall become null and void, provided always that this is without prejudice to the vendor's right to seek for specific performance of his agreement in court. So of course vendor still has a right to seek for specific performance to make sure that the whole process is carried out. So purchaser's default, this is in West Malaysia. So in the West Malaysia, the sales and purchase agreement has this Clause 7, purchaser's default shall refund all other monies. In West Malaysia, it's written this way: for deposit would be forfeited, but then the extra would be refunded back, and then to the vendor. Shall refund all other monies paid by the purchaser to the vendor pursuant to this agreement within 14 days free of interest from the date of receipt of such notice, failing which the interest at the rate of 8% per annum shall be accrued on the outstanding money commencing from the date of the lapse of the 14th. So here means that the purchaser actually forfeit the 10% deposit paid by the purchaser, and then later the vendor would be paying whatever left over, all the money back to the purchaser, and then if there is any reason that is late in payment, there will be 8% interest rate, and thereafter render null and void. So this is quite fair. So common question asked in purchasing a property in this case is that when you are not sure or you are unable to be committed to the purchase, then this will be important consideration. Right, I would like to disclaim that I am not a lawyer, and please consult your lawyer for more complicated cases. And this particular presentation is only for educational purposes, not constituting a legal advice. So U-turn in purchase of property, do you have a right to cancel the sales and purchase agreement? So there is no choice. So for a background I give, we have just signed a SPA and paid a 50,000 as 10% down payment for the second-hand house. 2 days later, we regretted making this decision. The reason is that despite earlier promise, so the owner decided not to do the repair. So this scenario quite common. So when you buy a property and then you are so loving with this property, but the earlier discussion with the seller is that there are some repairs that requires to be done. Then the owner say, okay as long as you want to buy, I will do the repair for you. And you say, okay I will do the necessary. We go to the lawyer, and we sign up the sales and purchase agreement. I'll pay whatever that is required. Then later, when you found out that the thing doesn't happen, he doesn't want to repair. He said that you already bought the place, you go and repair it's not a very big deal. Then in that scenario, you actually have a breach, and this breach may not actually be written in the sales and purchase agreement. So this is the problem. So what will happen to your money and how to move forward? So issue at hand is that the vendor actually verbally agreed to do the roofing repair, but then he broke his promise. He broke his promise not doing the repair, and you are unhappy about it, and you said that in that case, then I want to call off. I want to call off. Although you have signed the sales and purchase agreement, you have paid the down payment to the lawyer. So this part, the lawyer is very important. So if the lawyer actually able to foresee this issue, then the repair of the roof should be worded into the sales and purchase agreement to say that it is the duty of the owner to repair the roof. Upon signing this sales and purchase agreement, it would be taken as the roof repair will be done by the owner. And in such a breach, then you have the right to claim your compensation to deduct out the repair of the roof from the payment to him to pay the remaining of the sum. So this is the scenario. So SPA signed, but U-turn as the promise of the roof repair is a condition of this purchase. Your lawyer should have included that in the SPA. Of course, a good lawyer would do that. Now that the owner does not want to repair the roof, there is a breach, and this breach will follow the contract as in written in the SPA. If it is not written in the SPA, then it becomes a situation that you get into angry argument, and then angry argument means that you may not want to continue buying the place. Then how the sales and purchase agreement is worded would mean to be at your advantage or at your loss. So if it is 50,000 paid already, and the sales and purchase agreement because of the breach is your breach, you don't want to proceed, then the deposit of 50,000 will be forfeited to the owner. So if it is written in the sales and purchase agreement, then you can claim the compensation. You can force the owner to complete the roofing repair before you actually pay off the remaining of the sum. So the conclusion to cancel the sales and purchase agreement actually follows what is in the sales and purchase agreement. A good lawyer would draft a good sales and purchase agreement to protect your rights. The breach in the sales and purchase agreement will follow what is written in the sales and purchase agreement for the compensation or the termination. So there should be an exit clause on this part, the detailed part on how both parties, when they breach the contract, how to carry forward. There is an avenue to sue if you have a good lawyer for your right, protect your right. You have a high chance to sue for specific performance. So sue that the vendor would have to do the repair and continue selling the house to you to deduct the payment, or make him do the repair. So these are my platforms: estateagentexam.com for the self-study of the Diploma in Estate Agency examination, listing website Contract to You, as well as fineway.info, and my video collection in My Real Property Online. Thank you for coming to my website and my channel. I'm Thomasin PA2066. This is my mobile number and the website addresses for easy reference.